I'm a big YouTuber.
I literally cover court cases for a living.
I'm gonna give you my ID.
I cover the court cases for a living.
Yeah, what up, y'all? Welcome to Crown TV. I am the Crown Prince. Shout out to the Royal Fam, man. We done leveled up. We putting the petty things away. Hashtag Royal Fam in the comments if you hear me. If you want to donate to the channel and help us grow, you could do that through the Super Chat or the Cash App. Let's get it. Yeah, what up, y'all? Welcome back to Crown TV. I am the Crown Prince. If you do not know, shout out to all the affiliates. Shout out to everybody who been checking on me these past couple weeks. I have been chilling. I've been enjoying life. I hope y'all have been doing the same. And also, I wanted to give y'all a little break because it's hard to talk to people who've been waking up eating macaroni and cheese for breakfast every day. So I gave y'all an extra couple days to clear out y'all system. I've been clearing out mine as well. I really hope y'all enjoyed y'all holidays and got to chill with y'all family as I did. I wanted to talk about this Dark Low case and some of the problems that he's going to be facing going forward. I know a lot of people have not read the complaint and also the detention order. There's a lot of information in it that I don't think a lot of people know and I don't see talked about a lot. So that's what we're going to touch on today. All right, y'all. So what you are looking at is the government's motion for pretrial detention in this case. We've been through this in other trials, but if you have not seen one yet, I'm going to give you a real quick rundown of what this is. This is basically the government arguing why Dark Low should not be eligible for bail. So this is the document that they are going to use to paint him as a danger to society. They're going to use all the evidence that they have and throw it out in this document. And the reason why I'm using it is because I was going to go from the complaint, but this document is going to cover the complaint and anything that's also in the indictment. Like I said, they're using everything they have. So we're going to go from this document and we're going to touch on some important points. All right, y'all. So I've highlighted some things that I feel are going to be important and also just some things that people may not know. So this letter supposedly arrived to Dante Stewart a day before he was set to testify. It says a day before he was scheduled to testify on November 6th, 2019, CW1, who is Dante Stewart, received a letter with a return address in Philadelphia from sender Ron Harvey, which the defendant has previously used as an alias to refer to himself. Now, it talks about the letter which is attached. Hopefully, y'all saw the letter. I made it available to everybody in Band app. It's free, so y'all all should have been able to access the letter at this point. I'm skipping ahead to the other highlighted part. It says the letter was postmarked November 4th, 2019. It says, in no uncertain terms, the letter contains several obvious threats to CW1. In pertinent part, the letter reads, I'm going to be front row in the courtroom, me, Cheese, and a few others. Now, I'm going to use this name, Cheese, only because going forward, this name is not going anywhere. I can see is going to be a part of this case. So there's no point in blurring out the name anymore. It's going to be consistent throughout this case. So now we're going to talk about this letter and where the idea that this letter was full of threats, where it came from. A lot of people who read the letter often ask me the question, where is the threats and how is this being used as threats? Let's put it like that. So we're going to go through that and I want to show y'all where it all started. All of the language being used in this case originates from the feds and the original complaint. If you have not seen the original complaint, I will make that available to y'all in the Band app. Y'all could go check that right after this video is released. Along with this document, I will also put in there without the redactions. So in the original complaint, there is a federal agent talking, and basically what he is doing is giving his credentials and telling why, with his experience, he's able to decipher this letter the way he is deciphering it, and also why his deciphering of this letter is so credible. And it's up to everybody out there to be your own judge of the way this agent deciphered this letter. So in this document, it starts off in the letter talking about the things that were said to Dantes Stewart. So it's being said to Dantes Stewart that you will be known as the Rat Bull. And then when Dantes Stewart goes to federal prison, I don't want you to get stabbed up and start bleeding. It says agents believe the reference to stabbed up and start bleeding were obvious threats of violence against Dantes Stewart's person in the event that Dantes Stewart actually testified at the trial. It says, in addition, the letter threatened the R word, rhymes with grape, of an associate of Dantes Stewart, BM alias for CW1's girlfriend. I'm going to F her little ugly, dirty, gullible A just for you, my guy. Agents know that BM is a reference to Dantes Stewart's baby mother. The passage from the letter supports the conclusion that this was an obvious threat to CW1, that the mother of his children were at risk of being, and there is the R word again, rhymes with grape, if CW1 actually testified at the trial. So we're moving on to another highlighted portion. There's some important stuff in here I want to get back to. It says, on November 7th, 2019, the date that CW1 was scheduled to testify, the defendant and Cheese were present in the courtroom prior to CW1's testimony. This is problem number one for me that I think that he's going to have to deal with, is that the things that were written in this letter that was alleged to be written by him are actually coming to fruition. That is problem number one. So we're going to move on. All right, y'all. So this is something that I don't often hear talked about, and I wanted to go through it for people who may not know this exists, and that is this meeting between Dark Low and federal agents at this supermarket. As you can see, I've highlighted everything, so I wanted to run through it real quick. It says, while agents were waiting for the search warrant to be authorized by a magistrate judge in the District of Delaware, several FBI agents were present at an Acme supermarket located a few miles from the defendant's residence. Upon exiting the restroom area of the Acme, FBI Special Agent Benjamin Hollowell encountered the defendant, who confronted S.A. Hollowell and inquired as to whether Hollowell was following him. During the encounter, the defendant and Hollowell engaged in a calm discussion. The defendant was not handcuffed or restrained in any way, and S.A. Hollowell was in plain clothes and did not have his weapon drawn. Hollowell confirmed that he was law enforcement and that agents were obtaining a search warrant to obtain a sample of his handwriting and search his residence. The defendant then inquired as to whether the reason for the warrants was related to the letter he personally mailed to CW1, and then stated that the letter he sent to CW1 was not a threat. The defendant acknowledged that he wrote the letter, that he mailed it, and that he was present at the trial when CW1 was scheduled to testify. When asked by Special Agent Kevin Lewis whether his intention of the letter he mailed was to express that the defendant was not happy with CW1's defendant to testify, the defendant acknowledged that it was. That is going to be problem number two. It says a search warrant was later executed at the defendant's residence, and agents recovered in the defendant's bedroom a loaded Beretta 9mm pistol with an obliterated serial number, accompanied by one extended magazine holding 32 rounds and an additional 15-round magazine, in addition to a plastic bag with 33 rounds. The defendant admitted the pistol belonged to him, and he directed agents to its location within his bedroom. Okay, so it also goes on to say that under federal law, Dark Low is prohibited from owning a weapon, and then it goes into his prior criminal conduct. And it mentions the fact that he's already been convicted of 6 felonies. This is another problem, and is not related to this case per se, but it's going to make a difference when we start talking about guidelines and sentencing, should that become a thing. Now, I wanted to run through this rundown real quick. I'll skip down a little bit because the R word is present and I do not have it blurred out. But it says the letter he admitted he penned was plainly designed to coerce coerced. That's a big thing, and this is what I wanted to get back to. The fact that there is not actual threats in this letter is not going to make a big difference in this case, because it doesn't need to be a threat. Just a simple coercion or persuasion. You saying things are going to happen to you in the future, even if it's not at my hands. That's designed to make that person rethink what they are doing, and that by law is tampering. Now it says the defendant made obvious threats to a witness, and he proved that he was capable of carrying out acts of violence because he possessed a loaded gun with an obliterated serial number. The defendant knows he was not permitted to possess firearms because he has a prior conviction for possessing firearms when he was not authorized to do so. The defendant's conduct speaks for itself. He is a serious danger to the community and specifically against CW1 because he threatened CW1 in a letter, showed up to the court hearing, and possessed a weapon and admitted to all of his conduct. He must be detained to protect the integrity of the ongoing trial, blah, blah, blah. So this is getting into his bail thing and why they don't want him to be released for the duration of this case. So we're not going to get into all that, but we basically discussed the problems that Dark Low is facing. This is an uphill battle. I don't wish any bad on Dark Low, of course. We just discussing the case and what the feds are saying. So that doesn't mean that any of this is true. That doesn't mean he bumped into the feds at the supermarket and admitted anything. The feds could very well be lying. But this is what they are saying, and these are the problems he's going to have to face. We talked about the things in the letter coming to fruition with him showing up to court with the exact person that it said he was going to show up to court with in the letter, things like that. There are some problems here Dark Low has to face. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe. If you are suffering from depression, listen to me, fam. Better days are ahead. There is always a light at the end of the tunnel, and when we come out in that light, those are our best days. Let's always try to look forward to those days, no matter what kind of darkness we are under at the moment. Let's always look forward to that light and to those better days. Thank y'all for tuning in to Crown TV. I am the Crown Prince. Peace, y'all.